Hello and welcome to a very difficult yet quite invigorating race. This is the Volkswagen ID.R and this is the Le Mans endurance race in the exclusive series. Got to be fully upgraded to have access. And this car is shockingly amazing. I mean, just check out how I take this first chicane. Did you notice how little I was on the brakes? It is quite shocking. Now, because I took that so well, I'm actually scrubbing a bit of time so that when I approach the next chicane, I'm prepared. Now, there's still a bit of a visual issue right here. See that? How it looks like it's going through my car? It's because it is above the shadow of the car. So they know about it. It's just, I don't know, taking them a while to fix it. So I need to approach the first chicane of the Mulsanne Straight very particularly. I want to pass the first car and have the second car turning into the chicane before I reach it like this. That gives me enough room to have trajectory. Nuts! I clipped the wall! Okay, well, my whole plan is based on coming out of that first chicane nice and clean, so now I'm approaching the second chicane without really knowing how I'm going to take it. Because I stay full throttle this whole time. So this is going to be a wild card. I'm just going to go for broke and see what happens here. Oh, that worked pretty good. Staying on track the whole time, very important, especially in this car. Now, that's going to throw off this first 90-degree turn as well, because usually I would pass the second car of this group. I say group because there's 3-car groups at the start of an endurance race. So let's just see here. Oh, that's actually going to work really well. I often am cutting that corner, but it's faster if you can stay on track, but sometimes you have to slow down way too much if there are bots on the way. Same with the next 90-degree corner coming up. If there's no one in your way, you barely touch the brakes. It is shocking how fast you can take this corner. Not this is a very slight corner. This is an elbow. Here's the 90-degree I'm talking about. No one's in your way. Oh, I mean, even that was ridiculously fast. This is pretty necessary, that cut. Very tricky. You got to slow down way too much for that corner, but it's really easy to lose it off track in this car, because when we go off track, we lose a lot of grip, and we actually get really good braking power. The best braking power in this game is with all tires off track. The worst is with 2 tires on track, and second best is all tires on track. Really strange, isn't it? Okay, I really want to get around this guy. Come on, man, especially right here. He's going to tap. He's going to brake a little bit. All right, and this last chicane, believe it or not, if you get it just right, you can take this without going off track and keep it. My goodness, was that ever close. Okay, well, I just went off track for a tiny bit there. You can actually stay on track through the last chicane full throttle without going below 300 kilometers an hour. This first corner here, if no one's in your way, you can take that full throttle as well. So it's very shocking. Oh my gosh, that means that you're full throttle for a ridiculous amount of time in this race. Now again, I'm taking the outside line because I don't want to be catching up to this bot too early. I need that bot to be substantially through the chicane before I catch him. So that's why I'm purposely taking it a little bit wider. Now you could say, well, why don't you just lift a little bit? Well, I could, but I want to be at maximum speed when I reach this chicane. I want to blast through here at maximum speed so I get an overtake, because the bots always brake for the chicanes. No matter how far you are in this race, they will always brake. And the reason why it's important when I say how far you are is because, as you know, bots get more and more difficult the further you get in a race. Now, the perpetual point, that's the point of the race where you could keep going on forever if you got the skills. Can't do it at every single race, can't do it at in every single car, but it's definitely possible here. Quite difficult. And then it's quite difficult to keep it going. I've hit it a few times, and in fact, I had some great race footage, but the audio failed, so well, what do you do? That is tricky. You're going to notice that I turned, and then when I go off track, I turn very little, and then I turn more as I'm getting back on track again. And at this point, the bots are already starting to drive away from me. See that? After you reach the perpetual point, every bot is faster than a fully upgraded car. The only way you catch them is in corners, because they still take the corners so poorly. Oh, nuts, didn't want to go off track. Now that's going to affect my trajectory into this. Wow, I took it almost exactly as I did last time. Same thing here. He's going to drive away from me. So it's a slower car. Oh boy, this is going to get a little bit tight. I wish I had more time on the clock. I'm not going to catch him till I approach the last chicane. I don't think I will. During the first lap, he would brake at the exit of this corner. Like, he would brake right here, but they're not going to do that at the second lap. No, they won't. So yeah, it's been a lot of me training to try to learn how the bots are going to act at different stages. So I have to be prepared for how he's going to act here. Woohoo, boy, that's so sketchy. You want to stay on track as much as you can with this car because it loses a lot of speed when you go off track. And this is so dangerous, that first chicane, because the bots do take that very fast. So you might think that you can get a big advantage there, but I've been T-boned so many times because I thought they were going to pound the brakes. Now, I could stay hooked up for the draft with this guy and be going up to 325 kilometers an hour by the entrance of the first chicane. However, that'll make it impossible for me to take the first chicane. I've had that happen way too much. So I'm purposely letting him get ahead of me. And again, I'm not quite sure how much he's going to slow down, but I'm hoping to have enough time to just zip around him here. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that was close. Now, the secret to taking these chicanes is to kind of picture yourself in the chicane a bit early. So I start my turn quite early. So for this chicane coming up, I'm going to do my left and then my right quite quickly, and then try to really extend that right. So let's see if I can do that with bots in the way. So there you go. You see, I'm hugging the off track and entering and exiting the chicane. You want to make it as straight as a line as possible through there. And then this 90-degree corner, gosh, you know what? I'm pretty sure this is the 43rd car right here. This could be the perpetual point.
This is the perpetual point.
I have never caught it this early, I don't think. Wow, so clock actually looks pretty good, which is quite surprising. Oftentimes, I'm very low on time when I'm catching the perpetual point, like freakishly low. Like we're talking like, at this point, I'm having my timers in the red, but then the bots really slow down for this corner. So let's see if I can take advantage of this. Get a few here, and then take this, slow down a lot. Oh boy, I didn't get out of it soon enough. And oh man. Well, I'm glad my timer's almost full, because I'm not going to see anybody till probably the start-finish line, maybe not even the first chicane. That corner there is, this car loses so much traction when you slow down that much, and I was off track. But to stay on track with all the bots in the way, it's just too much. So I'll recatch them, don't you worry. Boy, I'd really like to be passing another bot, though, between the start-finish line and the first chicane. And I don't know, look like they really drove away from me. Okay, let's see if I can take this without going off track at all. Oh, tiny bit. It's tricky. That much doesn't really hurt me. I don't see anybody, so I'll try to take the first chicane without going off track at all. Let's see if I can pull that off. Ooh, now that was beautiful. Full throttle, not from the start-finish line, but full throttle from the last chicane, which meant I hit that with a lot of speed. I noticed I did go just a tiny bit under 300 kilometers an hour, but there's no other car that you're going to take that chicane that fast. In fact, the speed this car can take these chicanes is faster than any other car in the game. I've tested the McLaren MP4X, and I have to go under 300 kilometers an hour to take this first chicane. But the MP4X at this point would be hitting 436 for me. Like right here it would be 436. So obviously this car is slower than the MP4X, but still, oh, that's pretty good. I'm glad I'm recatching these guys because my timer's getting freakishly low. Now this makes me nervous heading into this chicane. I'm not quite sure. I might end up braking a little bit just because I can't afford to wreck right now, but I really do need to pass at least 2 cars here. Oh my goodness, that's so sketchy. 3? 3. Oh yeah, baby. And then I know they substantially overbrake here, so as long as I don't screw this up, I might have to brake early. Oh, it's just, I haven't done this enough to really know exactly what I want. Oh, I was expecting a gaggle of cars. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to be in trouble by the time I reach the next 90-degree corner. Oh boy. Okay, well, let's just see how this goes. I'm going to need to blast through this very fast, because I'll be definitely below 20 seconds. Oh yeah. I won't be in the red, but you can see this isn't easy, because for the majority of a lap, you can't pass anybody. Like the chicanes, you might get one or two cars, but oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Oh, that's really beautiful. Wow. Okay, now I got to do a quick adjustment. My fingers are a little bit out of place here, so quick little readjustment there. Okay, that feels better. Sometimes there's a lot of acrobatics when you're driving this car, a lot of thrashing your phone around, and it just felt like I didn't have a great grip. So here, this is about where I want to be. I mean, I wouldn't mind having more time on the timer, but with that bot in sight, I should be able to catch him going through the chicane and pass him before the start-finish line, which might get me. I want a full timer at the beginning of the next lap, which is going to mean I'd like to see 22 seconds or more on my clock. Nah, that's not enough. But I should be okay. I got to be very careful how I take this. Really, really, really careful, because like I was saying, they don't slow down all that much for that chicane, so you got to end up having to take a big chunk off track. I don't think I'm going to catch the draft, but I'm doing okay for time. I've been 10 seconds less than this and still been okay. Now I don't have to worry about wasting any time by driving wide, because that car, I should catch up to that car right after the first chicane. I don't know that I'd overtake it, but I would catch up to that car and then get two cars at the next chicane. So I just have to take this one really smooth, and it'll be nicely set up for the next one. Here we go, nice and easy, no one in the wall. Oh my gosh, I clipped the wall. Oh, that's amateur of me. I'm really shocked. Okay, well, I better buckle down, because I don't know. They're not really disappearing, so I might still catch one bot through this chicane or at the exit of it. Let's just see what happens here. Oh gosh, is that ever difficult sometimes. Beautiful. I find the second chicane harder than the first. Okay, this looks like a gaggle. That might be a weird word for some of you guys. A whole bunch. Gaggle, it just means like a whole bunch. A whole bunch all grouped together. If that's true, I better brake a little bit early and then sweep through this. Oh good, I didn't lose the handling. Okay, this is still very possible. Next 90-degree corner, I'm going to be quite low on time, might be in the red, but that's no problem. I just need to take it reasonably well, and I can just keep on going. So, it's not too bad. Well, don't get me wrong, this is extremely difficult. Okay, so, let's just see here, buckle down, take a nice corner here, and oh, come on. Man, I ate that wall bad. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think I have enough time. No, I'm pretty sure I don't. So let's get to the next topic. Possible and profitable are two very different things. The McLaren MP4X is extremely possible at Porsche short track. However, it is woefully unprofitable. In fact, the Audi R8 LMS Ultra is more profitable because of the amount of fame you get paid. So, this is pretty difficult, but obviously it's possible. But is it profitable? Because the fame pay for this race is about half as much as the MP4X, and this car is quite a bit slower. Speaking of slower, I've now sped this up to 4 times regular speed because it's kind of boring to watch this thing grind to a halt. And we're going to have some bonus footage coming up here in a bit as well. Okay, so we need race time, 14 minutes and 5 seconds. We need the base fame, 11,820. So that means my fame per minute was actually just 840, which isn't bad, but it's not great. So you don't necessarily go out of your way to fully upgrade just for this race. By the way, check this out. Last chicane, full throttle, never going off track. It stayed over 300 kilometers an hour. And that is impossible in any other car in this game. Same with taking these chicanes at over 300 kilometers an hour coming up. The audio for this race got ruined, but it's just so cool, so that's why it's my bonus footage. There are 2 other endless endurance races you can do in this car that pay quite a lot more, and they're not too difficult. Check out this corner. I do not go below 260 kilometers an hour. Wow. Links are popping up now for your enjoyment. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and that's what ruined this race. Bye-bye.